Dear students, welcome to this lesson. In this section, I am discussing Glass Menagerie, scene 6. Up to now, I discussed scene 1 to 5 in previous videos. I think that you will get benefits from these. Now Tom speaks, and so the following evening I brought Jim home to dinner. I had known Jim slightly in high school. Now Jim is also his colleague in warehouse. In high school, Jim was a hero. He had tremendous Irish good nature and vitality with the scrubbed and polished look of white chinaware. He seemed to move in a continual spotlight. He was a star in basketball, captain of the debating club, president of the senior class and the glee club, and he sang the male lead in the annual light opera. He was always running or bounding, never just walking. He seemed always at the point of defeating the law of gravity. He was shooting with such a velocity through his adolescence that you would logically expect him to arrive at nothing short of the White House by the time he was 30. But Jim apparently ran into more interference after his graduation from Solden. His speed has definitely slowed. 6 years after he left high school, he was holding a job that wasn't much better than mine. Here, there is a point about the society, economy, and the political background of the country. Now, Tom compares himself with Jim. Tom did nothing except learning at the school. He was not a bright student in any area, but Jim O'Connor, he was an all-round person, as it is mentioned, captain of debating team and every field. But what happened? At last he became a warehouse clerk, slightly different from Tom's profession. Everybody expected him to end up in White House, meaning President of America. Such a school-time bright student. But what happened at last? He also became a warehouse clerk. That means the writer here describes some social background, especially education, economical, political, right? He was the only one at the warehouse with whom I was on friendly terms. I was valuable to him as someone who could remember his former glory, who had seen him win basketball games and the Silver Cup debating. He knew of my secret practice of retiring to a cabinet of the washroom to work on poems when business was slack in the warehouse. He called me Shakespeare. It is at the first time that secret comes out that Tom used to write some poetry. Right? He wrote it in washroom. The reason? Everybody laughed at him when he wrote poetry. Again, there's a critical point to the society. Society is not sensitive. They are not sensitive to literature, art. A society that is not sensitive to literature and art means society is corrupt. Yes. He told him Shakespeare. That is not to appreciate, but to ridicule him. They use Shakespeare to ridicule him. There is again a social problem. They are not artistic. They don't like literature. You know, the society is then extremely corrupt. And while the other boys in the warehouse regarded me with suspicious hostility, Jim took a humorous attitude toward me. Gradually, his attitude affected the others. Their hostility wore off and they also began to smile at me as people smile at an oddly fashioned dog who trots across their path at some distance. Everybody looked at him like an oddly fashioned dog trotting in the distance. That means, again we have to say that in that industrial society, that laboring class society, they ignored art and literature. I knew that Jim and Laura had known each other at Solden, and I had learned Laura speak admiringly of his voice. I didn't know if Jim remembered or not. In high school, Laura had been an unobtrusive as Jim had been astonishing. If he did remember Laura, it was not my sister, for when I asked him to dinner, he grinned and said, "You know Shakespeare? I never thought of you having folks." He was about to discover that I did. Right? Jim and Tom were not acquainted to that far to share their family background. Jim doesn't know who Tom is and what his family is like that. Right? Let's see. Friday evening. It is about 5 o'clock of a late spring evening, which comes scattering poems in the sky. A delicate lemon light is in the Wingfield apartment. Amanda has worked like a Turk in preparation for gentleman caller. She has marvelous hopes to welcome gentleman caller. The results are astonishing. The new floor lamp with its rose silk shade in place. New floor lamp has been brought. A colored paper lantern concealed the broken light fixture in the ceiling. Knee below in white curtains at the windows. However, she had taken a loan and made some arrangements. Chintz covers, sound chairs and sofa. A pair of new sofa pillows make their initial appearance. Open boxes and tissue paper are scattered on the floor. Laura stands in the middle with lifted arms while Amanda crouches before her, adjusting hem of the new dress, devout and ritualistic. The dress is colored and designed by memory. The arrangement of Laura's hair is changed. It is softer than more becoming. A fragile, unearthly prettiness has come out in Laura. She is like a piece of transparent glass touched by light, given a momentary radiance, not actual, not lasting. On the side of Amanda, again, we see a great readiness to welcome a gentleman caller for her daughter. She has no option as we discussed earlier. Amanda, why are you trembling? Laura, mother, you have made me so nervous. Amanda, how have I made you nervous? Laura, by all this fuss, you make it seem so important. Amanda, I don't understand you, Laura. You couldn't be satisfied with just sitting home. And yet, whenever I try to arrange something for you, you seem to resist it. And now there is a small song. After that, now take a look at yourself. No, wait, just a moment. I have an idea. Laura, what is it? Amanda produces 2 powder puffs which she wraps in handkerchiefs and stuffs in Laura's bosom to replace breasts. Laura, mother, what are you doing? Amanda, they call them gay deceivers. Laura, I won't hear them. Amanda, you will. Laura, why should I? Amanda, because to be painfully honest, your chest is flat. Here it is a deception. Mother keeps something called gay deceivers because her chest is flat. She wants it to, be perfect to deceive the gentleman caller. You make it seem like we were set in a trap. Laura is realistic here. Amanda, all pretty girls are trapped. Pretty trap. And men accept them to me. Men also expect them to be a trap. Now look at yourself, young lady. This is the prettiest you will ever be. I have got to fix myself now. You are going to be surprised by your mother's appearance. She crosses through portieres humming gaily. Now she is humming gaily. She is happy because this gentleman caller is coming for the first time. Here we can understand that Amanda is not a practical woman. Yes, Laura moves slowly to the long mirrors and stares solemnly at herself. A wind blows the white curtains inward in a slow, graceful motion and with a faint, sorrowful sign. Amanda off stage, it isn't dark enough yet. After that, Amanda says, I am going to show you something. I am going to make a spectacular appearance. Laura asks, what is it, mother? Amanda, possess your soul in patience. You will see something now you resurrected from that old trunk. Their dress box. Styles haven't changed so terribly much after all. Now you look at your mother. She wears a girlish frock of yellowed voile with a blue silk sash. She carries a bunch of jonquils. The legend of her youth is nearly revived feverishly. Right now, it is at this point we understand that she also likes to appear like a girl. She recalls her pastime, her girlhood. But now, gentleman caller comes not to see Amanda, but to Laura. This is the dress in which I led the cotillion one. The catwalk twice at Sunset Hill. Wore one spring to the governor's ball in Jackson. See how I sashed around the ballroom, Laura. She rises her skirt and does a mincing step around room. Now here we have to understand that mother is very happy. She is dancing. She is singing because she thinks that everything is okay. A gentleman caller is coming for a marriage. That is why again we can say that she is not practical. She could have found information about that man before coming here. She didn't ask Tom to ask Jim whether he has a girlfriend or not. Later we understand that he is going to marry. I wore it on Sundays for my gentleman callers. She compares her girlhood with Laura. That is different. But unfortunately in this story, we don't read much about her time, except she says something about Blue Mountain area she lived and she had gentleman callers like that. I had it on the day I met your father. I had malaria fever all that spring. The change of climate from East Tennessee to Delta. The malaria plague also speaks of the unclean social background. Tennessee to the Delta. Weakened resistance. I had a little temperature all the time. Not enough to be serious. Just enough to make me restless and giddy. Invitations poured in parties all over the Delta. Stay in bed, said mother. You have fever, but I just wouldn't. I took quinine. Quinine means that chloroquine tablet. But kept on going evenings, dances, afternoon, long rides. Picnics lovely, so lovely. That country in May, all lacy with dogwood, literary flawed with jonquils. That was the spring I had the craze for jonquils. Jonquils became an absolute obsession. It is so sympathetic when she recalls her affluent girlhood. There's a secret how she collapsed from that condition, like richness to poverty. Mother said, honey, there's no more room for jonquils, and still I kept on bringing in more jonquils. Whenever I saw them, I would say, stop, I see jonquils. These flowers, jonquil flowers are very familiar with her life, because when she was a girl, she had so many flower bouquets. Finally, there were no more vases to hold them. Every available space was filled with jonquils, no vases to hold them, all right. I'll hold them myself and then I see. She stops in front of the picture music. Met your father. Malaria fever and jonquils and then this boy. Here also she derives happiness when speaking about her husband, how she met him. Yes, I hope they get here before it starts to rain. I gave your brother a little extra change so he and Mr. O'Connor could take a service car home. Then mother has given some money to bring that man in a taxi. Laura, what did you say his name was? O'Connor. What is his first name? I don't remember. Oh yes, I do. It was Jim. Laura sways slightly and catches hold of a chair. Amanda, yes, that was it. It was Jim. Have you never known a Jim that wasn't nice? Laura, are you sure his name is Jim O'Connor? Amanda, yes, mother. is he the one that Tom used to know in high school? And he didn't say so. I think he just got to know him at the warehouse. Laura, there was a Jim O'Connor we both knew in high school. If that is the one that Tom is bringing to dinner, you will have to excuse me. I won't come to the table. Now, coincidence. They knew in the school time. Laura didn't know that Jim was working in warehouse with Tom. Right? Unexpectedly, in a coincidence, the same man comes here as a gentleman caller. I mean, what sort of nonsense is this? You asked me once if I had ever liked the boy. Don't you remember I showed you this boy's picture? Amanda, you mean the boy you showed me in the yearbook? Yes, that boy. Amanda, Laura. Were you in love with that boy? Laura, I don't know, mother. All I know is I couldn't sit at the table if it was him. Because she's embarrassed then. She knows that he had the girlfriend. That means Laura knows that Jim O'Connor had the girlfriend in school time. Yes. Amanda, it won't be him. It isn't the least bit likely, but whether it is or not, you will come to the table. You will not be excused. Laura, I will have to be, mother. Amanda, I don't intend to humor your silliness. Mother says she doesn't intend to humor her silliness. Right? She has made such a big expense to welcome the gentleman caller. Now she resists in appearing. Laura, you had too much from you and your brother, both. Here, she expresses that involuntarily. You had too much from you and your brother, both. So just sit down and compose yourself till they come. Tom has forgotten his key, so you will have to let them in when they arrive. Laura, oh mother, you answer the door. You answer the door. Amanda, I will be in the kitchen busy. Laura, oh mother, please answer the door. Don't make me do it. Amanda, crossing into kitchenette, you got to fix the dressing for the salmon. Fuss, silliness, over gentleman caller. For the first time she appears in such a situation of welcoming a gentleman caller. Therefore, Laura becoming shy and embarrassed is something normal. Laura rises with the panicky gestures. She retreats to the portieres. The doorbell. Laura catches her breath and touches her throat. Amanda, Laura, sweetheart, the door. Jim, I think we just beat the rain. Tom, nervously, Jim whistles and fishes for a cigarette. Amanda, Laura, that is your brother and Mr. O'Connor. Will you let them in, darling? Laura, please. Amanda, what is the matter with you, silly thing? Laura, please. You answer it, please. Amanda, I told you I wasn't going to humor you. Laura, why have you chosen this moment to lose your mind? Right? Laura, please you go. Amanda, you will have to go to the door because I can't. Laura, I can't either. Why? I am sick. Amanda, I am sick too. Of your nonsense. On the side of a mother, she is now very poor, very innocent. She is helpless at the behavior of daughter. Why can't you and your brother be normal, please? Fantastic whims and behavior. Preposterous going on. Can you give me one reason? Right, come in just 1 second. Why you should be afraid to open? Now you answer it, Laura. Laura, oh. She returns to the portieres, dashes to the Victrola and winds it frantically and turns it on. Amanda, Laura Wingfield, you march right to that door? Yes, mother. Now she is going. Tom, Laura, this is Jim. Jim, this is my sister, Laura. Jim, I didn't know that Shakespeare had a sister. Laura retreating still and trembling from the door. How do you do? Jim, okay. Your hand is cold, Laura. Laura, yes, well, I've been playing the Victrola. Jim must have been playing classical music on it. Jim says, must have been playing classical music on it. You ought to play a little hot swing music to warm you up. His first advice. That means classical music is not suitable. It should be hot music. Laura, excuse me, I haven't finished playing the Victrola. She turns awkwardly and hurries into the front room. She pauses a second by the Victrola, then catches her breath and darts to the portieres like a frightened deer. Jim, what was the matter? Tom, oh, with Laura. Laura is terribly shy, she says. Jim, shy her. It's unusual to meet a shy girl nowadays. He is practical man. Jim is a practical man, so he says it is unusual to meet a shy girl nowadays. I don't believe you ever mentioned you had a sister. Tom, well, now you know I have one. Here is the post dispatch. You want a piece of it. Jim, they are talking about a magazine. Tom, what piece? The comic. Jim is forced. Ole DC Dean is on his bad behavior. Tom, yeah. Lights cigarettes and crosses back to the fire escape door. Now from this point onward, their fate is designed here. Jim, where are you going? Tom, I am going now to terrace. Jim, you know Shakespeare, I am going to sell you a bill of goods. Tom, what goods? A course I am making. Jim, in public speaking, you and me, we are not the warehouse type. Jim, though works in that warehouse, he doesn't like the place. He's tired of the place. He also wants to escape that place. I said in previous videos, escapism is one of the themes of this play. Jim also wants to escape, that's why he is following public speaking. Not only Jim tells, you and me, we are not the warehouse type. That means boys like you and I shouldn't work in a warehouse because they should have better careers. Tom, thanks. That's a good news. But what has public speaking got to do with it? Jim, it fits you for executive position. Tom, how? Jim, I tell it's done a lot for me. Jim, in what respect? In every. Ask yourself, what is the difference between you and me and men in the office down front? Brains, not ability. Yes, not ability but brains. Now then what? Just one little thing. Tom, what is that one little thing? Jim says primarily it amounts to social poise. Being able to square up to people and hold your own on any social level. Amanda, Tom, yes mother. Is that you and Mr. O'Connor? Yes mother. Well, you just make yourself comfortable in here. Yes mother. Ask Mr. O'Connor if he would like to wash his hand. Jim said, no, thank you. I took care of that at the warehouse. Tom, yes. Jim says, Mr. Mendoza was speaking to me about you. Tom, favorably. What do you think? Well, Jim, you are going to be out of job if you don't wake up. Now that head of the institute has told Jim that Tom is going to be sacked out from the job if he doesn't come on time. Tom says, I am waking up. This Tom's expression is not about waking up in the morning. Right now Tom is going to wake up in his life. You show no signs. The signs are interior. That's what I say. He's going to wake up. He has also sent an application for a shipping company. He's going to escape, leave. Tom, I'm planning to change, he says. He leans over the role, speaking with quite exhilaration. Like that, our Jim says, what are you guessing about? I'm tired of the movies. The movies? Tom says, yes, movies. Look at them. All of those glamorous people having adventures, hogging it all. Gobbling the whole thing up. You know what happens? People go to movies instead of moving now. He says people go to movies instead of moving. He wants to move, but he can't move. Instead of moving, he is going to movies. For the first time, he reveals this. Right? Hollywood characters are supposed to have all the adventures for everybody in America, while everybody in America sits in a dark room and watches them have them. Until there was a war, that's when adventure becomes available to the masses. Everyone's dish is not Gabriel's. Then the people in the dark room come out the dark room to have some adventures themselves. Goody goody. It's our turn now to go to the South Sea island, to make a safari to be exotic, far off, but I am not patient. I don't want to wait till then. I am tired of the movies and I am about to move. Move? Yes, when? Soon. Where? Now he is going to leave this background. Right? He wants to leave, but he has obligation towards mother. And also he has resistance, that is mother and sister, but he has no any satisfaction, no any exhilaration, right, at the home. I'm starting to boil inside. I know I seem dreamy, but inside, well, I'm boiling. Whenever I pick up a shoe, I shudder a little thinking how short life is and what I'm doing. Whatever I mean, I know it doesn't mean shoes except as something to wear on a traveler's feet. Look, Jim, what? I'm a member, the Union of Merchant Seamen. He has taken the membership. So I paid my dues this month instead of the light bill. This month, without paying the light bill, current bill, he has paid for the shipping company. You will regret it when they turn the lights off. Tom, I won't be here. Then I won't be here. Electricity company may disconnect light, then by then I will have gone. How about your mother? I am like my father, the bastard, son of the bastard. My father was the bastard. Then I am the son of the bastard. See how he grins. And he has been absent, going on 16 years. He shows the photograph of father. Jim, you are just talking. You drip, how does your mother feel about it? Tom says, here comes mother. Mother is not acquainted with my plans. Amanda, where are you all? Tom, on the terrace, mother. They start inside, she advances to them. Tom is distinctly shocked at the appearance. Even Jim blinks a little. He is making his first contact with girlish, sudden vivacity, and in spite of night school course in public speaking, in somewhat thrown off the beam by the unexpected outlay of social charm, certain responses are attempted by Jim but are swept aside by Amanda's gay laughter and chatter. Amanda's gay laughter and chatter is heard. Tom is embarrassed, but after the first shock, Jim reacts very warmly, grins and chunks, is altogether over. Amanda, well, this is Mr. O'Connor. Introduction entirely unnecessary. I heard so much about you from my boy. I finally said to him, Tom, good gracious, why don't you bring this paragon to supper? I would like to meet this nice young man at the warehouse, instead of just hearing him sing your praises so much. Mother tells lies. She also exaggerates Jim, but such a thing didn't happen in this house. I don't know why my son is so standoffish. That's not southern behavior. Let's sit down, and I think we could stand a little more air in here. Tom leave the door open. I felt a nice fresh breeze a moment ago when it has gone to. Right? I felt a fresh breeze a moment ago. That means happiness, freshness with the arrival of this man. So warm already and not quite summer. Even we are going to burn up when summer really gets started. However, we are having a very light supper. They are poor, therefore Amanda can't bear the cost for a delicious meal. That's why she says we are having a very light supper. I think light things are better for this time of year. The same as light clothes and light food are what warm weather calls for. You know, our blood gets so thick during the winter. It takes a while for us to adjust ourselves when the season changes. Amanda tells lies. She wants something to tell. She wants to tell something. She wants to chat with the man. It's come so quick this year I wasn't prepared. All of a sudden, heavens. Already summer, I ran to the trunk and pulled out this light dress. Terribly old, hysterical almost, but feels so good. So good, cooled, you know. Tom, mother. Amanda, yes, honey. What about supper? Amanda, honey, you go and ask sister if supper is ready. You know that sister is in full charge of supper. Now, mother wants to show Jim O'Connor that she's a nice cook. She's dexterous at kitchen activities. Because one day, as Amanda thinks, Laura will be Jim O'Connor's wife. Tell her you hungry boys are waiting for it. Have you met Laura? Jim, she. Amanda, let you in, oh good. You have met already. It's rare for a girl as sweet, as pretty as Laura to be domestic. She exaggerate. It is rare for a girl as sweet and pretty and Laura to be domestic. It's a rare case. But Laura is, thank heaven, not only pretty but also very domestic. I'm not at all. I never was a bit. I never could make a thing but angel food cake well. In the south, we had so many servants. Gone. She had so many servants. Again, she doesn't mention what happened to her family. How they collapsed to this grassroots level condition. All vestige of gracious living gone completely. Gone completely. What happened? That is one defect of the story. The writer leaves that for reader to understand or spectator to imagine. I wasn't prepared for what the future brought me. All of my gentlemen callers were sons of planters, and so all, of course, I assumed that I would be married to one and raise my family on a large piece of land with plenty of servants. Her girlish desire, but she kicked them up, right, having married this man Wingfield. But man proposes and woman accept the proposal. To vary that old saying a little bit. I married no planter. I married a man who worked for the telephone company. Now she tells Jim her story. The reality is that she is isolated. She also wants to reveal that story to third party. That gallantly smiled gentleman over there points to the picture. She saw that picture. If it is another woman, right, that picture would have been burnt. A telephone man who fell in love with a long distance. Now he travels and I don't even know where. But what I am going on for about my tribulations. Tell me yours. Hope you don't have any, Tom? Tom, yes, mother. Is supper nearly ready? She doesn't tell, but her conscience begins to speak. That is why we have to sympathize on this woman. Our mercy should stay with her. Tom says, it looks to me like supper is on the table. Amanda, let me look. She rises pretty and looks through portieres. Oh, lovely, but where's sister? Tom, Laura is not feeling well and she said that she thinks she would better not come to the table. Amanda, what nonsense, Laura? Oh, Laura. Laura, yes, mother. Amanda, you really must come to the table. We won't be seated until you come to the table. Come in, Mr. O'Connor. You sit over there. And I will, Laura. Laura Wingfield, you are keeping us waiting, honey. We can't say grace until you come to the table. Say grace means they recite religious verses. The back door is pushed weakly open and Laura comes in. She is obviously quite faint, her lips trembling, her eyes wide and staring. She moves unsteadily toward the table. Outside, the summer storm is coming abruptly. The white curtains below inward and the windows, and there is a sorrowful murmur and deep blue dusk. Laura suddenly stumbles, she catches a chair with a faint mien. Now, the future failure of the story is heralded by this point. Sorrowful murmur and deep blue dusk. Tom, Laura, Amanda, Laura. Why, Laura, you are sick, darling? Tom, help your sister into living room, dear. Sit in the living room, Laura. Rest on the sofa well. Standing over the hot stove made her ill. I told her that it was just too warm this evening, but is Laura all right now? Tom, yes. Amanda, what is that? Rain. A nice cool rain comes up. Now, she feels her environment as it is graceful for her ambition. She gives the gentleman call a frightened look. I think we may have grace now. Tom, honey, you say, oh, for these and all they are praying. Yes, they bow their heads. Amanda is stealing nervous glance at Jim. In the living room, Laura is stretched on the sofa, clenches her hand to her lips, is hold back a shuddering sob. God's holy name be praised. The scene dims out. Yes, we who read the story now know that there's a future failure. Tom has brought this gentleman caller, but both mother and son have been careful in that arrangement. They don't know anything about him. Their sadness is aggravated by this. Mother becomes demented. In future we will learn it. Laura's fear and shy also reveal her future failure. This is a common story in American life, but there is one uncommon thing, unusual, that about Laura's behavior. There are no shy girls in American society. But Laura is shy. As we said from the beginning, there are two reasons. She is poor and one is braced leg. She doesn't have glittering dresses as a girl wants. Mother is very innocent in arranging this boy. This is not the way that she could have done. She attempted to take Laura to society, but that was not enough. They could have engaged in some other positions. We can't tell that there are no positions for girls and ladies. Right, there are other options they could have taken. Right, anyway, I will discuss next lesson, the scene 7, which will be the last part of the glass menagerie. Today enough. Goodbye.